everybody. I'm calling to order the Board of Supervisors of Elections board meeting. It is Thursday, February 17th, 2022 at 7 p.m. This is a virtual meeting and roll call. Eileen Leahy present.
Veronica Fee, member, present.
Regina Watkins Eldridge, City Clerk, present.
All right. We are expecting Rebecca Bernier to join us this evening. She's running a little late, but with three members, we have quorum with Brianna and myself. So we're going to go ahead and get started. We have been wrestling with minutes. We had so many meetings last year, so we're still playing a little bit of catch up. The October 5th minutes, I don't know, Regina, if you were able to find out from Susan's notes or not. And some of this is difficult because Susan, who is our election assistant, is no longer with us. So they were approved pending a clarification, but I don't recall what that clarification is.
That's what I'm going to listen to it. She has it on a digital card.
Okay.
And I have the card. I have to go up to the chambers to listen to it, though.
Okay. It should just be at the very beginning. I know it was just a clarification, and it was
Okay.
the meeting after the recount. It wasn't the recount meeting,
Okay.
if I recall. So if you can check that.
I will do that.
We did get a copy of the November 3rd to 9th, 2021 minutes, which was the general election canvass. Brianna, did you get a chance to look at those?
I did. I didn't have anything to add.
Yeah, they looked fine to me. I mean, we were writing them and they were all transcribed in real time. So I
Yeah.
think really all that, what Rebecca did was she just had to type them in. If
Yeah.
I can have a motion to canvass minutes.
Motion to
Second,
approve.
all in favor?
Aye.
Okay, second. All right, approved. So those are actually minutes for the Board of Canvassers, correct?
Yes.
Okay, so then we had a meeting November 18th that I don't believe we got the minutes for that. That was, I think, difficult because we did meet in December, so we did not have them in January. So if you can check those also, Regina.
11:13. Is that what you said?
11:18.
18. Okay.
Right. I mean, I have my notes from there. It wasn't a particular. Yeah, so if you check and if you need any help with that,
Oh, there's
I have
Ashley.
my notes.
Okay.
Welcome, Ashley.
Yeah, sorry, I was getting kids out of the tub.
Not a problem.
Not a problem. Clean kids are a good thing.
All right, so we need the November 18th minutes and we need the January 20th minutes.
Okay.
All right. And so those are 3 minutes we need, and we'll need to get them completed by
You'll have them on Tuesday
March 14th. Okay.
because we're closed on Monday.
once
So
we
you'll
get
have them by
them-
Tuesday.
Okay, so once we get them, we'll just circulate and we'll just do a quick Zoom meeting to approve
Okay.
them. Okay.
Mhm.
I'm just gonna write that down. All right, did we have any public testimony?
No.
Okay. Old business, campaign finance reports. Before Susan left, I sat down and reviewed some, and I know she got as many up to date. And I think pretty much all of them were up to date with just a couple that I found. And Regina, I think you had sent out emails about it.
Email them. Yeah, Katie George said that she was going to turn in her documents tomorrow. Spoke with her today.
Okay. And so we did send a request for Friends of Sheila Finlayson in regards to the October 4th to October 24th.
She said she sent that
Um,
information in. She said she provided it.
Would you check on that?
Yeah, that's what I'm gonna do.
Okay, because that was in regards to a donation from a political action committee for $1,500. So she needs
Yeah,
to provide the documentation that 500 was returned.
she did. She said she did. And she said there
All
was a letter sent in and but I have not seen it.
Okay, well, if you could check on that, that would be great.
Okay.
Miss George needs to make she needs to amend a number of things.
She said she was gonna
Those
try to
are
make.
her summary pages, right? None of this is really, other than the first one, really critical. Friends of Rhonda Pindell Charles also has something to check. So I know you've sent out the emails. We'll just need to follow up on those.
And Rhonda was actually in the office, so she said she was gonna go home to take care of it. Her husband is her treasurer.
Right. Well, apparently it's in regards to a follow-up email that was sent on December 8th that Susan sent. So I didn't see any specifics on the summary.
Okay.
So if you could check on that. So
Hello, Rebecca.
Hi, sorry to be late.
not a problem. We've gone ahead and we approved your minutes. Thank you.
You're welcome.
We
It
still,
took-
we still have some outstanding minutes for October 5th, November 18th, and January 20th. So Regina's going to get them to us next week, and we'll probably just have a very quick Zoom meeting to approve them. Okay.
Okay,
And we didn't have any public testimony. We just went over finance reports. So new business, follow up from today's work session. My apologies for getting drafts to you so late, but I just, that's how I operated in college, and I guess I still operate that way. But I tried to pull a lot of things together, if nothing else, just to lay the groundwork for a lot of the work that the city council is going to need to think about as they move in, prepare for the next election. Some of it also is in response to questions that were asked at the Charter Revision Commission work session in regards to elections. So I try to keep a very neutral tone to it, because I don't, at least I didn't see our task or our purview as board members to make any opinions about it, just to basically say, this is what people have been, this is what recommendations have been, this is what people have been talking about, here's some information. So I will send out, pretty much the copy I sent you today is pretty close to final. There were a number of appendices that I wanted to pull together to go over, and I did get some additional information from the Board of Elections. One of the things I ran into in terms of trying to get some of the statistics was I didn't understand their acronyms. So I probably had the information somewhere, but didn't understand the acronyms. So I have all of that now. Any comments? If you've had a chance to look at what I sent you, any comments on it? Or Brianna, you were there today.
I think it looks good.
Yeah, no, I mean, it was good. You packed a lot in your allotted time slot. What can you say?
I know I moved quickly. I think the main message I was just saying was, we had some bumps along the way with the last elections. The feedback from the city council members was positive. They felt that things ran smoothly. They acknowledged that, there were some bumps, that this was new. They were very appreciative of all of our work. And are looking forward to getting the reports and getting some specific information. For instance, included in that will be the communication plan that that she worked on with Susan. Mitchell sent me a file that contains all of the visuals that she developed and some of the print materials and things like that. So that'll be good for them to have, and also for us to have it in terms of the archives. I
This
really liked, go ahead.
That seeing the budget, and that's really quite a savings from the 343,300 to have the expenses be under $200,000.
Right. The budget was pretty generous, and I know that you always try to have more than you need. But yes,
Yeah.
I was pleased, and a lot of that goes to Anne Arundel County is not billing us for their services, which is a huge savings.
Yeah.
I mean, if you look at 2013, it was over 200,000, and that was 8 years ago. So things really were, had the potential to change. So we're not expecting any more bills. It would be nice to have the contractual information, the contractual sum kind of delineated rather than kind of bunched in together. But we saved money on election judges, and we spent money on mailings and printing of ballots. So, so I thought it was well received. And again, I really just try to drive home that we need to make a revision. This needs to get done, and we really don't have a lot of time. I mean, the election calendar needs to be in stone August 2024, and then there's things like MOUs and all sorts of things. Of course, we have an election coming up, and some things might change if we have a change with the county executive or a change in terms of parties at the governor's level. So we'll have to wait and see too about that.
Also, just, I mean, I would think.
I'm sorry.
The state's process for the combined voting by mail, voting in person for the state elections, we probably want to watch that and see if there's anything to learn from there for going forward.
Right. Certainly, if I think it makes sense if we, especially for communication and understanding, for us to try to parallel what's being done at the state level. So it's going to mirror pretty much what they did for the presidential election, with the caveat that you can submit your application for a mail-in ballot for the 2022 election, but you can also opt in and say, I want mail-in ballots for all my elections. And so that will be a new component. And so that was listed as option 4 for the board to consider, for the city council to consider. The main things are, in terms of addressing it, is putting a group together to do it and deciding on things like partisan versus nonpartisan. And if they're going to change the election cycle. I think it's a pretty big task to ask the board to do, especially if it's remaining at 3 people. So my preference, or my personal thing, would be get a task force that can pull together a number of people within the city and outside of the city that have expertise in election law and also voting trends, and kind of divide and conquer, so to speak. But that'll be up to the council. So I think we can give ourselves a pat on the back, everybody. We did a good job. And again, Rebecca, especially you coming in late to the party. You really did a great job of just joining in and, being present and, getting involved, which I really do appreciate, because that was a big change for all of us.
You make I really appreciate how welcoming and collegial the group was. It was a good experience.
Yes, it was good. It was good. Then the only other business, really new business, I just put an other in there in case we had something. I just thought I would, can we share the who has been submitted for the next board? Can that be shared, Regina? I mean, nobody's been chosen, but the central committees have submitted their lists.
Yes, they were sent, the alderman and the mayor are aware of the list, so you can share it if you like.
Okay, well, I just thought it might be interesting to those who are watching and also to the other board members. The Annapolis Republican, well, let me back up. Each of those central committees submit 4 names, and that's part of the charter. So they submit 4 names. If they don't have a full complement of 4 names, the mayor can add to that list, but both of them did submit 4 names. The 4 names for the Annapolis Republican Central Committee were Jim Conlon, George Gallagher, Kathy Kelly, and Deborah Yassick. And I believe that they rated Deborah Yassick at the top of their list. The list for the Annapolis Democratic Central Committee was Tom McCarthy, Keanu Smith Brown, Michael Jackson, and myself. So we will see what ends up going before the city council. I know we did, I did ask the question if Mr. Smith Brown needed to close his campaign account in order to be appointed. And I believe Ashley concurred that yes, that would need to be done. So I don't know, Regina, is that something you notify him about, or Lonnie, or?
First of all, the names, Jacqueline's okay. Jacqueline's creating a resolution. All the names go in the resolution. The aldermen have to discuss who they want to appoint.
Okay.
And when they get to that point, I will notify them, hey.
Okay. Okay.
This has to be done.
Right. Smith Brown, we'll wait and see.
Okay. I think you were frozen for a minute,
All right.
Eileen.
Any other comments? Any other new business? I was when I sit in this chair, I pick up my neighbor's Wi-Fi sometimes. So anything else?
Mm.
Nope. This could be well, no, it's not our fastest meeting, but close to it. Ashley, anything you want to add?
It was a pleasure working with all of you.
Well,
We'll
thank
see who
you.
my new board is.
That's right.
which
This is our
always-
last board.
I know.
Yeah.
So we'll see who. Hopefully, I get a good crew again for the next election. You guys were
New friends.
Well,
yeah, we're easy to work with. So let's fingers crossed.
well, that's good. Well, I appreciate it.
Yeah, thank you, Ashley. It was great.
All right. Well, we'll wait and see.
Okay, I just want to say I concur with Ashley. I agree with everything she just said. It was great working with you guys. And Brianna, you still owe me a walk down to the Naval Academy.
Look, I'm telling you, just tell me when.
Okay.
And,
Okay.
and text me and I'll come join you because I'm right there and I work from home. That
Yes.
would be
All right. Well, and if we have no other business, we will, I need a motion to adjourn.
Motion to adjourn at 7:19.
All right. In a second,
second.
and all in favor?
Aye.